we're heading here over to the hose. This is hose number 2, and it's tucked away here, kind of near the Learning Commons. And basically, come on over, let's get a tight in shot. Here on the hose handle, it says O for open and S for shut. So right now it's shut. We're going to go ahead and open it. So you need to open it. And then over here we have a purple rain wand, and the rain wand has a lever that you can control the water flow. So if I lift it up, the water goes on. If I turn it down, then the water stops. So that's good for controlling it. So now this hose is great for watering a few different parts of the garden, and let me show you what those are. So this hose number 2, is good for watering the even number beds and under the countertop, the entryway, and the pots of things that are for sale. So let me show you what we need to do to water. So here's a typical bed. There are 2 kinds of beds right now in the garden. One is a bed like this that has really tall, seemingly overgrown cover crops, and then some decorative plants here at the bed end. These are the beds that you need to water. The beds over here that have plantings and already have a drip system installed, you can see this black drip system installed and it's wet. That means that the drip system's working and you're fine. You don't have to water anything with a drip system. I do need you to water these because they have not had the drip system installed yet. All right, so to water, you just flip open the switch and give them a nice watering. And then you don't need to water the bare dirt. And then come over here and water the cover crops a bit. We don't want to waste too much water on them because they're going to be coming out soon. But we'll try and keep them a little bit green for the kids while we're gone. Now, the one thing to be aware of as you're watering is where the hose is. You want to just make sure that the hose behind you is not inadvertently cutting something off. So what I find is helpful is sometimes I'll turn off the water and I will on purpose kind of extend the hose so that then when I make a turn to head down to one of these other beds, it's not going to cut or smush all the stuff on bed 6, but rather it'll use the corner of this box as kind of like a hose guide to help it go around the corner. All right, so here is an example of another bed. This is bed 4 that does not have a drip system. Bed 2 does not have a drip system. And again, this hose is for watering all of the beds that do not have a drip system. Across the way, bed 3 doesn't have a drip system, but you'll see that bed 1 does. Now, over here in this entryway near the library, there are 2 purple potted plants, and you'll see them there in the entryway, 1 and 2. If you can give them water as well, that would be great. So sometimes I just water them through the fence. Give them some water, a little bit of water for this one, and we're good to go. So again, I'm going to focus with this hose on beds that don't have a drip system. Give them a nice little watering. Head down here to the cover crops. Give them some water. And sometimes what I do is just count to 30 or 60, so I know that each one has gotten, a good 30 to 60 second soak. All right. Now, with this hose, I'm going to concentrate on the even number beds that do not have drip systems. But the other thing that needs to get watered, and again, I'm taking pains to make sure that the hose travels along the fiber on the path and doesn't karate chop, decapitate any of our plants. So I'm going to angle this a little bit so that now I can take it with me over here towards the countertop. So So I'm going to pull this over. And now that I'm over here, you'll see that there are a whole bunch of plants stored underneath that countertop. And they're there on purpose because they're ready to be outside, but they're just not ready to be in the beds quite yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my sprinkle, give them just a quick little sprinkle, just a little zap. And again, I'm going to pull this a little bit further, making sure that the hose is kind of going against that counter or the edge of the planter box so that it doesn't hurt the beds. And again, I'm going to quickly give these plants underneath a little water, just a quick little water. Really, you don't want to give them too much because that will actually hurt the plant. Then I'm going to go all the way across here towards the greenhouse, and you'll see that we have a whole bunch of plants that are getting ready for sale. These have been transplanted by the kids into larger pots, and these need watering as well. So I'm going to give them, maybe just one pass. If it's been really hot, I might give them a second pass. And that's it. Quick shot of water for our mint in the red pots, and then I'm done. These beds here along the fence, those are all on a drip system, so you don't have to worry about those. All right, so that was that.